Cooking was my mother's greatest act of love. The air always smelled like onions and tomatoes, curry powder, and thyme. I can see my mom standing in the kitchen, cooking jollof rice. Naturally, Nigerian's best-known dish is rich and complex, with many layers of spices and vegetables. The perfect combination of flavors. My dad is standing next to her, leaning over the wide black pot, inhaling the scent, and snatching up bites. Add a little bit more of this, he says, waving at the powdered bouillon. Then he takes another bite and points at the pile of chopped onions and red peppers, and a bit more of that. My mother pokes my father in the soft part of his tummy with her wooden spoon. "Oh, you don't think it's good, eh?" she says. "You think I don't know how to cook?" "Come on now, Henry." My mother's name is Henrietta, but my father always calls her Henry in this loving, sing-song kind of way. "You know you are the best cook in the world, which is why I have this little belly you're currently poking me in." They are laughing. They were always laughing back then. My father had a great laugh. He could find the humor in anything, and his laugh, a deep, warm giggle, was the kind that made other people laugh just hearing it, even if they weren't in on the joke. Completely infectious. My mother mockingly throws up her hands and turns back to the stove. "You are always laughing even when nothing is funny," she says. But I could see from the way her shoulders jumped that she is still laughing too. In those days, conversations between my parents sounded like a song to me. Perhaps it was their accents, but there was something melodical in the way they spoke to each other. There was a flow and a rhythm. Their talk was filled with inside jokes and good-natured teasing. They pleased each other, softened in each other's presence. The salty sweet parley between them made me feel warm, safe, and content. The playful banter between my parents differed from how my mother engaged with me, her firstborn daughter. Where my mother was raised, there was no back-and-forth conversation. In Nigeria, children didn't get to have an opinion. They quickly obeyed their parents, finished their food, and prayed for forgiveness. My mother valued obedience and respect over playfulness. So in our household, she and I never engaged in frivolous conversations, only stern instructions. Fix the table, do your homework, turn off the television, read a book. Eat, always eat. For my mother, raising a well-behaved child was the ultimate goal. I envied the ease my parents had with each other, but I never felt it extended to me, unless we were sharing a meal. When my mother asked, "Did you eat?" I always sensed the deep concern in her voice, and I knew a warm, hearty meal would follow. "Did you eat?" was easily interchangeable with, "I love you." She regularly prepared elaborate dishes, jollof rice, egusi soup, and my favorite dish, moi moi, for dinner. As the aroma of spices filled our tiny two-bedroom apartment, I watched her move steadily about the kitchen. From the cabinet, she would pull out an array of ingredients, black-eyed peas, foil-wrapped cubes of Maggi, and containers filled with tiny smoked dried shrimp. Our freezer was filled with square packages of spinach and fresh goat meat. Mysteriously labeled plastic bags with pungent spices littered our small kitchen counter. I savored the smell of grilled meat slathered with a generous mix of ground peanuts, ginger, and cayenne. The yams in our house were not orangey brown, but instead white-fleshed and tough, dull brown skins that had to be peeled away with a knife. Whenever someone was ill, they were not fed chicken noodle soup. Instead, we slurped the fiery broth of pepper soup, which immediately cleared your sinuses and warmed your chest.